On every cruise line's website, you'll find a list of prohibited items that cannot be brought onto the cruise ship. Some of these items make perfect sense, and some of them you might question, but in every instance, these items are prohibited because they are considered health or safety risks. Now, in addition to prohibited items, you will also find a list of things that you can bring onto the ship, but cannot be used on the ship, and are only allowed to be used in the ports of call that you visit. Today, I'm going to give you 10 items that you can bring on your next cruise, but you can't use them on the cruise ship. Hi everyone, my name is Jamie from Sharonatsea Travel. Thanks a lot for stopping by the channel today. And if you find any of the information we provide to be helpful or entertaining, we would love for you to consider subscribing and spending more time with us. Cruise ships have almost everything you would need on board to have an amazing vacation, and their prohibited item lists are almost identical between cruise lines with very few exceptions. There's another list though, and that is a list of items that cannot be used on board, but the items are not prohibited. Here are 10 items, according to one popular mainstream cruise line's website, that you can bring on your next cruise. You just can't use them on the cruise ship. All right, let's start out with golf clubs. Avid golfers can find some amazing golf courses in the different ports of call on their cruise, and they're welcome to bring their golf clubs and tee off in any port that has a course. But unlike the old days when you could actually hit golf balls off the back of the cruise ship, these days that would probably be frowned upon and probably get you escorted off the ship. So feel free to bring those golf clubs, but keep them locked up until you arrive at the first tee. Next, how about snorkel gear? Snorkeling is one of the most popular activities when visiting the Caribbean islands, and many people choose to bring their own gear to make sure they can enjoy what the ocean has to offer. But please don't roll out to the Lido deck pool with your snorkel and flippers on, because it just might alarm other guests and you will surely get yourself sent back to the cabin. Number 3, beach chairs. Now I get it, those chair hogs can get up pretty early and try to grab the best loungers on the Lido deck. And although you might be able to bring a foldable beach chair onto the cruise ship to use in a port, you cannot bring it out and set yourself up in front of the, the ice sculpture event to get a better look. So please leave those fold-up beach chairs back in your cabin and just take them off the ship to enjoy at the beaches and the cruise ports that you visit. Number 4, portable folding bicycles. Let me say that again, portable folding bicycles. I don't think we had these when I was a kid, but apparently they are a thing now. You can bring one foldable portable bicycle that has 20-inch wheels or smaller, but don't go racing around the jogging track or the Lido deck. If you need some bike work on the ship, just head to the fitness center, but I can see how these could definitely come in handy to zip around the cruise port and maybe even use if you're running late to the ship. That's a new thing. Instead of pier runners, they would be pier bikers. Here's one thing that is actually prohibited on a few cruise lines, but allowed to be brought on by a few others. That's right, it's the dreaded drone. Now, it makes sense. I mean, you can't just fly your drone off the balcony while cruising, but with cruise vlogging being such a big deal nowadays, I'm not sure why some cruise lines just straight out prohibit them. Just make sure you do your drone flying safely in port, and you can get some video shots that look like this. Now, number 6 is a popular item, and although many people wish you could use them on the ship, you can't, and that's a fishing pole. Fishing excursions during a cruise can be amazing outdoor experiences, and you can certainly bring your own equipment with you. But please, no bottom fishing from your balcony or trolling from the aft of the ship. Plus, who has a net that long to bring the fish in if you catch one? I mean, imagine the poor cabin steward when he finds a mahi-mahi in the shower stall of your cruise cabin. Now, the next item would definitely get you to dinner or the shows a little bit quicker, but don't even think about it. It's rollerblades. It's tough enough to walk across a wet pool deck in my flip-flops without falling, let alone watching out for rollerbladers coming through. But seriously, how great would it be to rollerblade off the ship in a Caribbean port? Just be very careful, make sure your travel insurance is current and has medical coverage, and don't use those rollerblades while you're on the cruise ship. Now we've got 3 more to go, but before we go on, earlier I mentioned possibly subscribing to the channel if you enjoyed the content. So if you made it this far, just please remember to hit that subscribe button before you leave, and feel free to hit the like button and share the video with friends and family while you're at it. It means a lot to us, and we would really appreciate it. Now number 8, and this one is pretty controversial when it comes to cruising with kids, but no inflatable kiddie pools are allowed to be used on the ship. You can bring them with you, you can have fun with them at the beach or by a pool in the port, but they ask you not to inflate and use them on the ship for a few reasons. First, emptying them out can definitely cause a safety hazard. I know the Lido decks are already slippery, but what if it gets used in an area where you would expect a dry floor? And another reason is, what do you do if a little one has an accident in one of them? That could certainly happen, so you can bring one, just don't use it on the cruise ship. Next up, surfboards and boogie boards. Now, I've seen a few places where surfboards are flat out prohibited, so check with the cruise line before you bring one. But boogie boards can be brought on board and used in the cruise port, so you can catch those gnarly waves, dude. Maybe someone can let us know if they've used their own boogie board on the Royal Caribbean Flow Rider. They call that like a BYOBB, bring your own boogie board. So bring your boogie board on the cruise ship, but just keep it in the cabin until you get to the ports. Finally, staying with the water fun theme, let's talk inflatable rafts or floats. They might be great off the ship, but no one wants to see you jump into the Lido pool with an inflatable giant pink flamingo around your waist. You know what? Now that I think about it, that would be kind of cool. I think I have a friend that would probably do that. Anyway, bring those inflatables. Just make sure to only use them off the cruise ship. Now see that? I told you I had 10 things you can bring on the ship, but not use on the ship. Thanks very much for watching the video. And before I go, let me quickly mention that if and when you are ready to book your next cruise vacation, feel free to contact Sharon at sharonatsea@gmail.com. That's right, my wife Sharon at sharonatsea@gmail.com. She can book any cruise on any cruise line from any cruise port from anywhere. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next video.